Have you ever noticed how some people seem to carry invisible chains around their hearts? They hold on to relationships, memories, or even guilt long after those things stop serving them. And here's the truth. Emotional attachments can quietly destroy your peace, your health, and even your sense of who you are. Studies show that chronic emotional stress can weaken your immunity, raise your blood pressure, and throw your mental health off balance. It's like your body's screaming for self-care, but your heart refuses to let go. Most people think letting go means being cold or heartless, but that's not it. Real well-being comes from emotional freedom, the kind that allows you to love deeply without losing yourself. When you cling too tightly to what's gone, your quality of life, sleep, and even your nutrition habits can fall apart. You might find yourself skipping workouts, eating junk food, or feeling drained no matter how much rest you get. That's your mind's way of saying, hey, it's time for healing. The painful part? Many people don't even realize they're stuck. They chase new goals, new people, new routines, but deep down, they're still anchored to old pain. It's not weakness, it's just human. But here's the thing. When you finally learn to release those emotional ties, everything changes. Your mental health strengthens, your energy rises, and your inner peace becomes your new normal. That's when true emotional balance and mindfulness begin. So what if you could stop suffering from attachments and actually start living? In this journey, you'll discover how to understand emotional attachment, let go without guilt, and transform pain into growth. You'll see that healing, freedom, and happiness aren't distant dreams. They're daily choices. By the end of this, you'll know how to live fully, breathe freely, and build a life that feels light again. Emotional attachment is something everyone experiences. It's that invisible thread that connects us to people, memories, and even habits. It's what makes relationships meaningful, but also what makes heartbreaks feel unbearable. When someone loses a bond they've invested energy in, the brain releases stress hormones like cortisol, triggering real physical pain. That's why a breakup, a betrayal, or even nostalgia can feel like your chest is on fire. It's not just in your head, your body literally reacts as if you've been injured. The tricky part is that attachment often hides behind good intentions. You tell yourself, I'm just being loyal, or I can't give up on them yet. But deep down, you're feeding emotional dependence. This imbalance slowly drains your mental health, affects your immune system, and even disrupts your sleep and nutrition. People often cope by overeating, skipping workouts, or isolating themselves. But all that does is deepen the wound. Recognizing this pattern is the first act of self-care and emotional awareness. To break that cycle, it helps to start observing your reactions instead of judging them. When you feel pain or longing, take a mindful pause. Breathe deeply, walk outside, or write your thoughts in a journal. This isn't about forgetting the person or situation. It's about reclaiming your power. Emotional intelligence grows when you learn to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. That's the root of mindfulness, and it's where real healing begins. The beautiful truth is that attachment isn't the enemy. Ignorance of it is. Once you understand how it works, you can start shifting from pain to peace. You begin to see that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's presence or approval. It's freedom through awareness, not avoidance. And that's where the real transformation starts, because next we'll uncover the true power of letting go and how that simple act can completely reshape your quality of life. Letting go isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about choosing your peace over your pain. Most people think that holding on proves love or loyalty, but in reality, it often proves fear. When you finally release what's been weighing on your chest, you don't lose anything real. You just stop carrying what was never yours to begin with. And when that moment happens, something powerful shifts. Your mental health starts healing, your immunity improves, and your sleep quality begins to restore naturally. That's the quiet magic of surrender. Think of your emotions like a cluttered room. You can't decorate or move forward until you clear the space. The same goes for your mind. When you let go of resentment or guilt, you make room for mindfulness, joy, and emotional growth. Try small steps, write a letter you'll never send, take a long walk in nature, or practice 5 minutes of deep breathing daily. Those tiny rituals of self-care strengthen your emotional muscles more than you think. They tell your mind, I deserve peace. Letting go doesn't mean you forget the lesson. It means you stop repeating the story. That's the secret to well-being and emotional balance. Science even backs this up. Studies from Stanford and Harvard show that mindfulness practices can reduce stress hormones by up to 30%. That means your body literally rewards you when you release emotional baggage. The less you cling, the more space you create for healing, creativity, and authentic happiness. When you finally master the art of letting go, life starts to feel lighter, not because the world changed, but because you did. You begin to see that peace was never lost. It was just buried under old emotions. And once you find it, you don't want to go back. But here's where things get even deeper, because the next step isn't just about peace, it's about building freedom while keeping your heart compassionate. Building freedom doesn't mean shutting people out or becoming cold. It's about setting boundaries that protect your energy and well-being. Many folks confuse freedom with selfishness, but real freedom comes from knowing where you end and others begin. For instance, you can care deeply for a friend or family member while refusing to carry their stress as your own. This balance improves mental health, strengthens relationships, and even boosts your quality of life in tangible ways. A practical step is to practice saying no without guilt. Start small. Skip an event that drains you, delegate a task you hate, or limit time with energy-draining people. Every time you protect your emotional space, you're investing in self-care, stress reduction, and inner peace. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but over time, those tiny acts of discipline transform your life. Freedom and compassion aren't opposites. They're partners in creating balance. Another key practice is empathy without attachment. You can understand and feel for someone without letting their emotions hijack your mental health. For example, instead of absorbing a friend's anxiety, offer guidance, encouragement, or just a listening ear. Then step back. Your emotional resilience grows, your mindfulness strengthens, and your capacity for heartful connection deepens, all while staying grounded in your own life. When freedom and compassion coexist, you unlock a new level of autonomy and joy. You start living intentionally, making choices based on your values, not guilt or obligation. And once you experience that, life feels lighter, your energy skyrockets, and your emotional balance becomes a daily reality. And the next step is even more transformative, because now we'll explore how to turn pain into growth and self-discovery, not just escape it. Pain is a universal teacher, but most people try to avoid it instead of learning from it. Emotional suffering can feel unbearable, but it's also a roadmap to your personal growth. For example, a failed relationship can reveal patterns you never noticed, how you react under stress, what values truly matter, and which boundaries you need. Reflecting on these lessons strengthens your mental health, boosts self-awareness, and sets the stage for a life of resilience. One of the most powerful strategies is journaling or mindful reflection. Write down your experiences, emotions, and what they're teaching you. Over time, patterns emerge, and you start seeing challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks. Incorporating mindfulness or meditation into this process amplifies the effect, lowering stress and improving sleep quality. It's a practical way to turn heartache into wisdom you can apply to future relationships and life decisions. Another key is action-oriented growth. Pain becomes transformative when paired with steps that build your well-being. For instance, after a personal setback, someone might start a new hobby, volunteer, or commit to physical exercise. These activities not only restore confidence and emotional balance, but also enhance health, energy, and a sense of purpose. The combination of reflection and action transforms pain from a burden into a source of self-discovery. Finally, embracing pain as part of life's curriculum teaches you empathy and compassion. You start understanding others' struggles without losing your emotional freedom. This perspective strengthens relationships, nurtures heartful connections, and deepens your mindfulness practice. And the final revelation awaits, because next, we'll uncover how living fully in the present becomes the real key to happiness. Living in the present is more than a trendy phrase. It's the cornerstone of true happiness. Most people spend their days trapped in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, draining their mental health, energy, and overall well-being. When you anchor yourself in the now, you allow your mindfulness and emotional balance to flourish. Simple practices like deep breathing, gratitude journaling, or even mindful walking in nature can drastically improve your quality of life. Being present also transforms how you approach relationships and opportunities. Instead of worrying about outcomes or clinging to expectations, you can fully engage in the moment, savoring conversations, experiences, and small joys. This focus strengthens emotional intelligence, reduces stress, and even supports immunity and heart health. Think about savoring a quiet cup of coffee without distractions. Those moments accumulate and create a life rich in fulfillment. Another secret is combining presence with intentional action. Set small daily goals that align with your values, like exercising for 30 minutes, preparing a balanced meal, or practicing gratitude. These mindful routines enhance physical health, foster self-care, and build momentum for long-term growth. By immersing yourself in the now, you cultivate a lifestyle where happiness isn't just fleeting, it becomes your default state. Once you embrace living fully in the present, every choice starts feeling intentional and empowering. You notice opportunities for joy, connection, and personal growth that were invisible when your mind was elsewhere. And here's the exciting part, the journey doesn't end here. By mastering the present, you open the door to a life of lasting freedom, peace, and well-being, ready to keep evolving every single day. Remember how heavy it felt carrying emotional baggage, like every heartbreak or regret was a weight on your chest. Now you've learned the tools to release those chains, cultivate inner peace, and live fully in the moment. You've seen how letting go improves mental health, stress levels, and even physical well-being. Every small step you take, journaling, mindful breathing, setting boundaries, is an investment in your freedom, happiness, and quality of life. Ask yourself, are you ready to stop giving your energy to what doesn't serve you? To finally embrace self-care, emotional balance, and a lifestyle that prioritizes well-being over obligation? Applying these practices daily isn't just theory. It's a path to resilience, mindfulness, and deeper heartful connections. You've already started this journey just by showing up and engaging with these ideas. The power now is in your hands. Reflect on your relationships, your habits, and the stories you keep replaying. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? The next time life throws challenges your way, use the strategies you've learned here. Turn pain into growth, attachment into awareness, and stress into self-discovery. Your path to freedom is already unfolding. If you want to keep building a life full of well-being, emotional balance, and lasting happiness, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the next steps of your journey are waiting, and you don't want to miss a single insight.